I told her we're going to bring sequels. She said that you don't have a phone. Yeah.
Well,
We can fix that, can't we?
budget season.
All right, I'd like to open this meeting with a prayer, and then we'll get started. Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We ask that you watch over us and bless us. We ask that you watch over all of our servants in the city. We ask that you watch over our families and watch over our thoughts and our votes and our ideas, that all those things glorify your name. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. A couple of times we get to do a few great things. Tonight is our pinning ceremony. We're thankful to have everybody here. Chief, would you like to step forward?
First, we have our new fire chief that I get the opportunity to swear in. Councilman. All right. I'm going to read this oath of office, and you say your name, and at the end, you say I swear. Okay?
Okay, that's fine.
All right, very good. I,
David Sure.
swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Georgia, to serve the citizens of the City of Demorest to the best of your ability, to save lives, protect property, to identify, reduce the risk of fire hazards within our community. You swear to lead with integrity, honesty, and the example of those who follow in your footsteps. You swear to take action in the face of danger and understand the inherent risks associated with your profession. You swear to serve the City of Demorest and the Demorest Fire Department with honor and pride. I swear. Very good. Sir. Now's the time you invite your family up.
For all of you who don't, you see this is my wife Kate and my daughter Lauren.
Very good.
Alright, so this is a tradition that's been in the fire service for many years of pinning your officers. They come up through the ranks. It's a tradition for many years, and it's going to be my honor to now swear in my officers. Unfortunately, I only have 2 of my 3 lieutenants are here. One of them is out sick, but we're going to get him. He thinks he's going to be out of it. I'm going to start next with my assistant chief, Lance Juliet. So remember, the same rules apply. Your rules, swear, you need to say I swear. So I,
Lance Juliet,
swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Georgia, to serve the citizens of the City of Demorest to the best of my ability, to save lives and protect property, to identify and reduce the risk of fire and hazards within our community. I swear to lead with integrity and honesty, to be an example for those who follow in my footsteps. I swear to take action in the face of danger and understand the inherent risk associated with our profession. I swear to serve the City of Demorest Fire Department with honor and pride. That's what I swear. Same two, we're going to do it for him as well. Lance has been part of my family for the most part. 30 years. It's been a long time in my fire service career. When the opportunity came available, I felt that he was a great addition, that he would bring his knowledge and experience to help us in this city.
I can echo what he is saying, because if you don't know Lance, if you haven't seen Lance, you've never seen somebody move and bounce off the wall.
The man
Y'all think
the man
I can
works.
talk? I cannot talk with that man right there. I don't even know how he sleeps,
I don't think he actually does it.
or he does standing up.
She's like scared.
She's bringing my blood.
I can't bet you get come on.
Well, we do have a group meeting. I do have to put a muzzle on him, though, because he will get in the weeds quick.
He does.
Quick.
I'm actually thinking of making a sign above his desk that says, "I'm in the weeds." Yeah, going in the weeds. He is very technical.
But he is a fine addition.
Lance is also being presented with a brand new helmet shield. The next one, I'm going to call both my lieutenants at the same time. And it's going to be Josh Hunter and Chris Paul. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Nunley couldn't join us tonight. He is ill. But y'all get to share a Bible. Yeah, there we go. I, state your name, Chris Paul. You don't have to say anything until I say I swear at the very end, okay? Swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Georgia, to serve the citizens of the city of Demorest to the best of my ability and to save lives and property. To identify and reduce the risk of fire hazards within our community, I swear to lead with integrity and honesty to be an example for those who follow in their footsteps. I swear to take action in the face of danger and understand the inherent risks associated with our profession. I swear to serve the citizens and the city of Demorest and the Demorest Fire Department with honor and pride. That's right. Congratulations. Yeah, y'all can.
He did this on purpose.
Yes, we are going through uniform remodeling. They actually already have some patches on there. They are not the fresh patches for them, so we're going to make do with what we have until we can get uniforms corrected. Careful, my drug license.
I'm in your way, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the number.
Fine, no problem. Thanks, sir. I couldn't be prouder of the officers. We're doing a fantastic job. I mean, I got Cody Bowen, Summers in here, runner call, and I got I actually have one of my, he's a deputy chief in Dawson County, but he's one of my firefighters. That's Johnny Irvin, who's in the audience. That's a great crew. We've come together. We're the Demorest Fire Department's going on up. We're getting improving every single day. And I couldn't be prouder and happier to have these guys making decisions and help us move to the future. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Yeah, we got. Hey, that one do a family picture.
Let's do it as all my officers first. Then
Okay.
Chris, you gotta come back, we got Donna.
She didn't know.
You guys ready?
You want with Chris?
I
No.
want to be in no He said no too. See? He said
Thank you, sir.
How was your son's name? Memphis. He said up here.
Okay, you gotta give it back. Let that one.
The Palmers won't come up. Come on, Mr. Palmer and Donna. Come on.
He said and Donna.
I don't know Donna's last name.
I'll take.
Okay.
I'll take.
She's Kate. Okay.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, give us 5 minutes. We're gonna rearrange. So, y'all want to talk, post some next? Go ahead.
What do you need for?
And just take, probably 8 chairs off front to go. First row, please.
What do you need, Chief? Hey, long time no see.
I know y'all appreciate
It's gonna be a peaceful night. Who's gonna pump the truck? Cause we'll both be inside.
Yeah, I know, and I have to go there, I definitely have to go out. Yes, right.
You leaving us, Darby?
Yeah, I'm hungry. I just got off work. I came straight here.
I know, easy.
I think that one is you.
Oh, it's all right. I'll call us later. Damage you got just.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No worries, Chief. Once you get there, so maybe him.
I'll do my best for you.
Boss is here.
They're short on trucks and all this, so let's see what happens.
All right, y'all ready to get moving along? Next topic of discussion is Mr. Brad Day. Mark, you want to pick up on this?
Yep. Brad, come on up. Now, one of the things here, that we, mayor and council had encouraged, me to be in charge of was finding a grants writer for the city. And David and I had it posted in January, February, and it ended on April the 11th. And, I had 3 applications, and, Brad came out to be a finalist for us. And, this is Brad Day. He comes from Homer. He's got great connections, which connections is the name of the game in doing with your grants writing, is knowing who he knows, what he knows. Our paths should have crossed in Gainesville and Hall County and other places. They never did, even though he worked at the chamber in several places. We just know the same people, but he and I never crossed. And his affiliations around the state, his ability to write grants, the former DCA commissioner, Mike Beatty, I asked Mike, if you needed a grant writer to be written in 30 days or less, who you call it? And he's calling Brad Day, and he does a lot of work, and so there's good connections, like I said, with that. He's got economic development, he's got management skills. It's just really endless on that. We have not finalized his contract. We're still working through that, so y'all have not seen the contract. But I want Brad to stand up or address y'all and just talk about his things that he can do, how he visions, how he's working on his strategic point right now. He has interviewed all of council, department heads, and some other folks, and he's putting together a vision of what we all have said, the direction of the grants, whether it's water, sewer, parks, dog park, sidewalks, streetscape, all these ideas. So with that, Brad, welcome to the meeting, and please talk about yourself. I know that might be hard.
Well, you're telling me to stand up, Mayor's telling me to sit down. I'm putting in a bind. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, he rules, so whatever he says.
However you want to
Yeah,
understand, whatever you want.
I'll at least for now. How about that? It's a pleasure to have gotten to know some of you over the past few days, and I look forward to working with you. And I hope that I can adequately represent the vision that you all have for the city. So it's a privilege to work with you, and just bark out the commands and what you want. You'll be getting some feedback. I'm trying to draw all the institutional memory of town and realize some of the high hopes that we've had for a long time or for a short time. You all as elected officials have prioritized.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Council, y'all got any questions or comments?
That tour of Habersham Central is still on.
Well, it was very impressive the other day, and
We didn't have time to walk through it.
yeah, we'll definitely do.
With the contract process, y'all are going through negotiations now with that contract. Thomas, have you had a chance to review it? I've reviewed it. I made it. Contract.
And I thought we might be finished with it, y'all would have seen it, that's why I listed it on the list, but it just didn't happen. And I wanted Brad and I and Thomas to have that conversation.
Okay, very good.
Great. All right. Look forward to meeting with you.
And
Thank you very much.
again, let me say, Brad is not, he would not be, y'all approve this, he would not be an employee, he'd be contract, but he would be called the funds coordinator. He would have business cards, he would have a city email address, because that gives confidence and credibility when he's emailing these different groups, these different individuals, that he is part of the city, that he'd be contract labor. And the biggest thing is, we can only do 12 months, not 18 months, because of, as long as we can do a contract like my own.
I would have absolutely no authority whatsoever. I cherish that very much. All right.
Because he's gonna bring, if he has an idea once he does this strategic point here, we're gonna talk about these, and he's gonna agree that these are the directions y'all want him to go. He will bring them back to us, for y'all to say yes, because it may be, well, we gotta do a 20% match, or it may be 0% match, but we have to agree and understand all the fine-tuned detail that's required. The hardest part is not getting the grant, sometimes it's implementing the grant and to know all the rules, so you don't mess up and have to pay it back. And that's where his experience will play off on that.
I really don't like the idea of holding it another month to approve the contract. Thomas, what do you suggest on asking, giving us the highlights of it, to make a vote on it and that nature? And is the contract ready, or also negotiating? I'm happy with the highlights of.
May I visit with Thomas just briefly?
Sure.
Is that all right? You know?
Sure.
No, I just got it.
Okay, yes.
A lot of
So I really just don't want to or again, what?
I had to say, I could not vote for a contract that I haven't had.
Yeah, even if we had our attorney take us look at it, it's our advice.
I think the council needs to have a few days to look this up.
Okay, very good.
We're gonna have to schedule our budget hearing to balance the budget.
Okay.
We were looking at subject 2, because the 15 days puts us like the 26th, 27th. Is anybody with those days? Remember, we had to do this last year, right at the very end, we had to do that for our audit. Basically just settle up on the budget 6 months after, because that means everything's going through the budget cycle. This is where we have to do that.
That's the big before the end of the month, and then once we advertise 15.
Because we cannot file for another extension like we did last year. You can't do it 2 years in a row. So we gotta have that final part so that we can have that to close out. Yeah, anybody, Marburn, it could be a Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it's a Wednesday or a Thursday.
If I get it out tomorrow, it will advertise on Friday. So it's business 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So we'll identify those days unless somebody has heartburn, it would be like at 6 o'clock. And we will discuss that and
Do you anticipate getting a contract?
try to finish this up. So it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day. But you would have several days to review it before. That's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
All right. Next, let's move on to cemetery update.
All right, we've got Miss Faith here, and she has been working diligently on this process since maybe October, November, September.
We started, I believe our contract started back in, was it July or August?
Pull that over.
Was it July or August that we started?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she and her staff have been out here marking every single gravestone there is. And so do kind of tell us about the process and how we got where we are today.
All right, that's it. Yep, and go.
Sorry, we can go while they're talking.
There it is. Okay. So, as Mark mentioned, we've been diligently working on the cemetery. And what I wanted to discuss is the project at hand. What we were contracted to do was to update the cemetery map with the burials from 2009 to present. Any plots that were sold from 2009 to present, and we added performing a survey of the GMRC region municipal-owned cemeteries. So this is the 2009 map that's on the screen now. This is where we started. This is where it was when I left that particular cemetery. I think it was like June or July of 2009.
And this is the map that is barely held together, that has been marked on manually by staff
Yep.
through this time.
I've got some pictures in here. So where did we start? I went over and talked to Miss Joan Church over at Habersham County and acquired the 2023 imagery. I've also requested copies of the ledger books from Megan for the old and new sections of where plots have been sold. Requested from the city hall also to give me copies of any deeds that they may have on file. And I requested a copy of the office map. So as you can see on the screen, this is office map that they were working from. It's very frail. It could fall apart at any minute. If somebody breathed on it wrong, it would just bust into pieces. Am I right, Megan? So I took all of this information and went through all of the deeds. That took some time. And this is the original map. This is the map that was done when the cemetery was first established. Okay? So when we go out into the field and we record all these new burials, what exactly do we record? We record the deceased's full name, the date of birth, death, and marriage. Sometimes you'll see on a headstone, if it's a married couple, they'll have their date of marriage on there. The headstone type, material, and condition. The gravesite surface and condition. Any kind of inscriptions that are on there. Symbology, and any kind of military or other affiliations. So there's a lot of symbols that people put on headstones. Take, for example, like a broken chain link. It symbolizes the loss of a family. Clasped hands, farewell to earthly existence. Let's see, the square and the compass. That's the Freemasons or your, the Masons. A tree trunk or a stump. Usually that means that if the tree branch is cut, it's life that's been cut short. The urn represents the soul. So headstone types, we have military. There could be some funeral home placards out there. They haven't gone out there to put up a headstone. There's the modern inscribed, historic inscribed, and then there's the primitive. You have several of the primitive stones out there. Some of them could even just be a rock. They're that primitive, and with just a stone being out there, a natural stone, we don't know who's buried there, but we know someone is buried there. So that would be an unknown. There's also an obelisk where it's usually four-sided. There's decorative elements on top, maybe an urn or a point, and it could have an inscription. Easy for me to say, right? Okay, so this is the map that you're looking at over here. The old section is in yellow, the new section is in green, and I filled in open areas with available plots for you to sell later.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you know what the years are between the new?
No, because it's mixed.
When
Very
did the
mixed.
cemetery start?
When did the new cemetery?
No, just the cemetery as a.
In the 1800s. Yeah. So, the available plots that we have added, I've only added them in the new section. I hesitate for you to do anything in the old section due to lack of deeds. Even if it's marked that it's sold, we don't know if there's anyone buried in those plots, or even if it's not sold. I would just hesitate to put anybody or sell any lots in the old section unless you get some GPR, ground penetrating radar out there, which Georgia Mountains doesn't have, but you can rent that equipment and go out there and do GPR. But I would say stick with the new section. So we added, there are 137 plots available. 14 of them are family plots, and 123 of them are singles, meaning a single burial could be there.
Say those numbers again, please.
Okay, 137 plots total available for sale. Those are marked in pink on this map over here. There are 14 family plots. Those are usually your bigger plots. Like these over here, these are your family plots. And then these are your singles. Did I give you that single number again, Mark?
123.
123. So cemetery at a glance. One point, Mark, you asked me what's the oldest grave in your cemetery. So your oldest burial is John E. Jones. He was born September 6, 1864, and he died June 6 of 1867. So that is your oldest burial in your cemetery. Total to date, you have 998 burials in your cemetery. 68 are veterans. And again, you have 137 plots that you can sell. Since we just observed Memorial Day, I thought it was that we should also talk about the veterans that you have in your cemetery. You have Civil War, both on the Confederate and Union side. You have Vietnam veterans, Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II. A lot of times on these, this is a military headstone, and they also say that, you know, they fought for the Army or the Navy, or they were in the Air Force. So within your packet, I gave you a copy of this spreadsheet. This is the information that I obtained. These are cemeteries that are within Georgia Mountains region. You'll see the city of Baldwin, Dawsonville, Clarksville, Mount Airy, Toccoa, Livonia, Lula, Maysville, Dawsonville's on there twice. Gainesville, that's a huge cemetery. Oakwood, Dahlonega, and Royston. A lot of these cemeteries we've worked on as well. But these are their prices for single plots, double plots, family plots. Some of them have cremation plots. One thing to note though is if there is some of them charge for transfer of deeds, like $50 administrative fee for transfer of deeds. So a lot of times someone will sell their plot to somebody else because they didn't use it or they only used a portion of it. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. Also in your package is a very small representative, 11 by 17 map of the cemetery as a whole. Another thing that we were charged to do was to create an online map, and this is accessible by anybody. You can even put this link on your website so that anybody can go out there and take a look at the work that we've done out in the cemetery. So this is the link down here at the bottom. If y'all do not have that link, I can share that with you. So the final deliverables are the updated paper maps, the online mapping application, and a desktop art reader. I would come to City Hall and load all of this information on up to 3 computers at City Hall. And then the ladies in the office will have access to all of the headstone photos. They'd be able to search and find a burial in the cemetery, and it's all at their fingertips. Okay? So our contract end date is June 30th, 2024. Unfortunately, what we found when we were putting together some of these maps, we have lost some of the headstone photos, but we plan to have those finished up pretty quick. But we do not see extending this contract, and we will be completed by the end date.
Thank you.
Okay?
How much land does the city own? Is there room for expansion?
That parcel is 14.7 acres. That is, let's see if I can find that map again. That blue outline on the screen, that is 14.7 acres.
So there's room in the wooded area below.
That's wooded areas as well. And
That's a
it's
topo.
very, very steep slope going down the hill back here. That's why I would not advise putting anything back in here at all, because it just like right down to the railroad. This is the old Saluda Falls Railroad bed.
Uh-huh. Is that where our property line stops? Is it the railroad?
No, because you can almost see that railroad bed over there. Let's see. Over here, there's a slope as well. So you may not be able to sell this one particular spot. And then over here, it drops off as well. Any questions?
No, thank you very much. Oh, I do have a question. So the online link that
Yes.
was sent out, I played with that several times.
Did you? Yeah.
Will it have a feature that we can search? Like veterans will have a feature that we can search dates or last names.
I may do a combination of the information that we're going to put on their desktop and the map application to give you the ability to search and pull up the headstone all at the same time. Yeah. So let me look into that, and I'll see if I can manage that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any
Thanks
other
so much,
questions?
Stacy.
No?
Good job.
Very nice.
All right, awesome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Oh, I have one more thing. I'm gonna pass this around. This is not totally up to date, but we also created a map book for the cemetery. So it goes page by page into the cemetery. You'll see these yellow dots on this map. Those are the ones that we're indicating that don't. Those are the ones we need to get a headstone photo for. So I'm gonna leave this with you, and then y'all can take it with you.
Thank you.
Can I get your presentation?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. I'll send it to Megan in the morning.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Betty.
You're welcome.
All right. Next is consideration of the cemetery ordinance. This is our second read. We talked about this last month. It's in your packets, the tab 1. I think we made a few changes to it last time. Were those changes made here in front of us, Lee?
Check case that, make sure that I understood correctly what y'all are asking for. I believe, listen, I can say it right now.
I think it's 27, that was up.
Yeah, there was number A, or letter A, sorry. So requested to strike the last sentence on section 2711 on page 7 and strike section 2710, letter A and resend. So I removed A, but I continue to do this. I know there was discussion about possibly changing something, and y'all said, we'll just go in with what is that. If you want to maintain, you're saying it, adopt it as. I feel like it was something to do with, something to do with leaves. We don't discuss postponing it.
Oh, 27-9, terminal permit fees. How are we handling that? I'll set that. So not. Structure of the all the weird. It's in here and we'll have more than this. Okay, file it separate. 27-7, second page of that, says notice of funeral. What must be notified within 2 business days of conducting funeral.
It's kind of common practice. We don't enforce it, but, you know, it's courtesy of it.
All. Yeah, for pre-med meetings. Are you good with 4? Yeah.
What about, we have.
Yeah, maybe we should remove that. 27-7, second page, D, scattering cremation remains shall be scattered amongst the garden, supervised by the city.
I That's what I meant, that I was thinking, should make half. Yeah, it's scattered on the lot.
Any other changes? Any other conversation? All right, move forward, vote on that this evening. Second reading.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
27, 8 days. This is permanent.
27. Yes, 8. Yes, that's okay.
I have 11 days.
All right. Next, let's move on to discussion revisions, insurance license ordinance. Discussion, second reading. This is something provided to us by GMA. So, can't make any changes to this, right, Thomas? Sorry? Correct. Okay. So, take it as it is, I guess. Next is discussion, revision, building regulation code updates. Mark, what do you have on that, Thomas?
Basically, this is just cleaning up some, chime in here, just cleaning up some items for our code enforcement officer, to give them the ability to enforce our ordinances, because before it was limited, and, Chief Sherrill really had some limitations, and, this will open up and allow him to do what he needs to do going forward on dilapidated properties and other items that we discussed.
Basically, just put more tools in the box.
Okay. Great. Under International Building Code, the most current edition, is that most current edition adopted by the state of Georgia? Or most current?
Should be adopted by the state of Georgia.
Well, second page. Because the state of Georgia right now is running on a different year than what's actually written. And that's what training is over. So I think it should be as the same as the state of Georgia along those.
You have the option to do it, but I think you.
But what the training
I
is.
know, when you think about what the training.
State of Georgia edition.
Yeah, I think whatever was adopted by the state of Georgia. I think up until January 1st, they were running on 2012 editions.
And just to add the words to that most current edition adopted by the state of Georgia.
Correct. Any other things? All right, great. Next is discussion of business license ordinances, second reading. Also cleaning up what's in our current ordinance. Mark, do you have anything?
No, just continue on like you said.
This is the. Gives the code enforcement proceed to do their jobs.
Correct.
Any other questions about that? This is the second reading, so we will vote on that. Next is consideration of additional LMIG funds.
Yep, with that, I included the chart. You'll see it in there, it's highlighted at the top, yellow. Should be in your file. And, what it shows here, if you turn it around so you can see it there, you will see the city of, well, they've got the county of Habersham, and then it's got the city of Habersham, and it's got the amounts that they've given in years past. In a normal LMIG, you have to put in a match of minimum of 30%. But this is $252 million that the governor gave out of the excess funds from this past state legislative session to the cities and the counties. And if you look all the way to the right, it's a 0% match. So this is called additional 2024 LMIG, because you can see what we got, and we just finished that work last month already. So we did roughly 69,000. We get just about 100% match. And so we're gonna get an additional $46,518,000 with zero match.
Oh, that's great.
So
When's that coming?
everything's gotta be filed by June 15th.
Okay.
And then if you go through the next page, this is where
This is different than y'all's.
it's a different location, because my outlook on this, okay. And you'll see the letter right here, right there. And that talks about what we're doing. So basically, the streets, Wall Avenue, where it comes to, Central up here, down, right hand side there, and you'll see what's got the bad parts of that, so all that's gonna be milled and repaved right there. Got Florida Street on this other side, right over here, that is completely alligator up. From West Central right there to North Hazel. And then it's got the other side of Alabama Street going across on the other side of 441, down and up the hill. So pretty good issue on those. And then we've got some, part of Cap Fry is in the city. So we're going to take care of some of those patches. And then, Johnny Mize comes in from Massachusetts. That part that wraps back around the park up to Georgia Street. As you know, where it goes underneath the creek, where it's all busted up right there too. So that's going to kind of complete the circle around the park once we finish that section. And so we're going to be hitting roughly 2,100 feet. And it's probably going to come in maybe at 48, 49. We just did the same numbers that he had bid for the other LMA. So we may do a couple.
Brian's waiting on that day to come back.
Yeah.
How do we decide what streets we pay?
Right out here, mountain. You know, if y'all have told us about streets or anything like that.
Right.
So if y'all would like to do that for the next round for next year.
I think in the past, Brian said when he was in his
Yeah.
office, add streets.
We pick those in the distance because we got a basic idea of what it costs per foot. So what we're asking for is the approval of this, so Megan can submit this to the state next week. Once we get the bids in, then we'll bring that back.
And they're out for advertising now.
It will be after we approve this.
Oh,
Brian had asked what, you have to have an estimated cost to even submit with Elmer, so he's asked for one.
And it could be in the same building before where nobody else wants to bid, you know, this guy's getting your cheapest. The others feel like they're wasting their time. Oh, yeah. We're ready to go once we get this approved from council that y'all want to $46,500. With zero match. But again, Jimmy, to answer your question, this is what we propose in this, and so if somebody wanted to change something, now would be the time. If somebody wanted to change something, but we wouldn't have any numbers to add to it. But please, in the future, if you know of the street that's got something, please pass it on, and Brian and I will get it scheduled and back.
Next is consideration or discussion of the park gazebo. I think we've had a lot of conversations about the park gazebo. It's in really poor shape, and we make a decision. And otherwise.
Because what's happened now, somebody, as the pictures have shown, they've kicked out the railing, and there's nails underneath where they've kicked them out. Part of them are rotten. We can do as little as rub off the gazebo. We can do as little as Brian just repair and replace the boards and the railings that need to be done. Or we can go further and replace all the railing. But that's kind of the direction we just need to know, because there are people, as Donnie's had families tell him that with nails they're kind of shocked. That we're just, and I had no idea. I've been in the park all the time, but I never at that point had walked to it, because we had painted it and made sure things were good for last year's July 4th. I probably hadn't been in it since that time.
No, I couldn't see because of the bushes.
They're so tall.
You know, but once they made that known, I went down there and I was like, oh my gosh, these tickets out. You know?
What kind of money are we talking about to repair?
No, minimal dollars. It would just be buying the 2x4s and spindles and painting them white to match it from there. It's $200 plus, our labor, but it's just really just to do the minimal amount. Because again, at our retreat, we talked about, do you want to tear it down? Do you want to keep it? Because he can make that thing as nice as he has done with the pavilion, with the stained wood going all the way up to the top, and on the railings and all that. But
I think some of the conceptual drawings of the park, there was no order there. And I think from our retreat, there was some conversations what that looks like. Going forward, if we're throwing money at it.
right.
Is it on the drawing?
What's that?
Is it on the drawing? I believe it is.
I mean, again, I never saw anything about anything because we haven't, started phase 2 or anything, or any discussions like that. So it's just a matter.
When he's gone, okay, I mean, not so good. But it seems like it was like sketched out, as this already has this on it, but it wasn't like a picture of this is a museum. This is a structure that would have to be built, and I think it's pretty much this.
Whether or not we would rebuild it or not.
All I'm looking for is bare minimum. Brian and his guys just to
Make it safer for the that's.
Yeah, that's very minimal.
Place would be the future. Something nicer to stay there.
do that. Or loud and clear.
Our work session is over at 7. We have a couple other topics that you want to discuss. We will discuss them now.
Yes, we can do that. Is this in their front or the back of their book? All right, look in your back for this. It starts with this heading here. So I had a few items we would need to consider if y'all wanted to amend the budget. Amend the agenda. Should be loose in the back.
Oh, I see. Okay. So first is the parking agreement with Piedmont. I think this is something we've been working on for a while.
Yep.
So I think we've had a chance to review that agreement. gives us permission to use the parking lot after 5 on weekends, right? This will be signs going up there at the property.
They're already up there. Yes, and so we wanted an agreement that's done on an annual basis, just so that when we're all not here and they're not in Piedmont, and the city's still using that, somebody has something.
Yeah, that's good.
To understand.
And this is a lot behind farm.
It's behind Farmhouse, it is the lot beside the Women's Club, and it is the, and it is also the first parking lot when you turn to go toward the police department on Georgia on the right-hand side. And any time, either one of us can end or amend the agreement. Main thing is, I'm asking those downtown that we, on their websites, mark these spots as additional parking after 5 and all day on Saturday and Sunday.
There's no cost to this.
There's another partnership agreement between us and Piedmont. The next item here,
Should advertise ourselves too, not just them.
yeah, we can do that too.
Next is the City of Baldwin water rate increase. Fortunately, Baldwin does supply us with the majority of our water.
Correct.
So this is a big impact to us and our water customers.
So this would go into effect July 1st. I received the letter on May 21st from Miss Woodmaster, and you paid $240, and it's going to $249. That's based upon the dollar amount, being the gallons amounts there, and then the next level is $259, and then the next level is $279. So it gets higher for more water as you're using.
Have you had a chance to do an impact on how that will impact?
Well, Fletcher and I talked about it, and he is working on that.
Okay.
The third one here is the splitting of 2 lots. I'm sorry, 1 tract into 2 lots here off Whiskey. And one of the partners for Home Capital LLC, George, you back there?
Yes.
So he's back here, and you can see what he's trying to do is he had 2 houses on 1 tract. And that's the other one. There should be another one in there. Look at your stack there. We're looking at this one. Yes.
It's fronted like this.
Yes, just like this. Number 3. Okay, it's got two houses on 1 tract, and then another neighbor who would have some easement problems there. So Thomas and I and George and Chris, the owner, we worked through several different scenarios for them, whether it should be a flag lot, whether it should be an easement given to everybody like this so everybody has access. So I believe they're going to remodel the houses to sell them. We could be speaking out. That's the plan, George.
Yes, both of them, yes. Yes, sir.
And so we've been working on this for probably 4 or 5 months, and we finally got it figured out. And this is something that needs to come in front of y'all to decide if you would like to approve this. And George is here if y'all have any questions, whether now or in the meeting later, 7 o'clock meeting. This is not part of our public hearing.
Thomas, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, the issue really was, one reading of the ordinance is that flag lots require that they have on public road. And it's not possible to do that in this particular parcel without, the reason that it's being approved by you all is because they're doing it by this declaration. That is a property interest. It does have frontage on a public road. It's just not something that's actually doing it. But it's the thousand property under the property. That makes sense.
what is currently being used in this fashion media.
It's got to be out.
And you had the neighbor right there that has some limitations for his, in that current house left, that has nothing to do with his use of that. And this is cleaning it up, giving it the easements that will be filed with documents.
Any other questions?
I'm just agree this way, that's 20 minutes.
Like Mark said, we went back on a couple iterations.
Number 4, this here is two lots involved in Sweetgrass. The homeowner, Mike Casper, owned the 2 lots there. As you can see, and I also showed you with the public where you can see where he built his house over the property line. And he's trying to clean up the other lot that he owns and give it a new property line with the setbacks of this house right here, not to have an encroachment.
They'll both be informal life after this, but because you all approved the plat, because city council approved the plat for Sweetgrass, this is the beginning of that plat as well. That's fine.
What does that do to the HOA?
Property itself, it's a evidence, whether or not it impacts, that's not the Mr. Council property.
He's an attorney on occasion, so.
You're not changing the lot numbers or anything like that, I guess, so there's gonna be some evidence.
They made a smaller lot.
Lot 113, lot 114.
It's smaller than 1
Very good. All right, next.
This is for the RFP for the copper and lead. It looks like this number 5. You have the resolution on top, and then the resolution, the RFP is here. Where we are with this, they have taken this down from roughly 7,200 down to 3,500 meters that we have to inspect. And we do have the $100,000 grant coming in, but if you use your own employee to do the work, you don't get any money. So that's the kicker there. The kicker that we gotta have is, we have changed some dates. If y'all approve it tonight, you'll see where I handwrote some in on the next page there, on the RFP itself, because we had a back date, assuming it's approved tonight, with so many days of advertising, and then we get the bids back in. He's got 2 of these, he's got maybe 7 or 8 cities that's having to go through this. He's got everybody just about on the same time frame, but he's got 2 that are going out this week bids, and you'll start seeing some ideas of what we may have. Because they've got all the addresses in here attached. We had to make some assumptions that roughly 1,200 feet are impacted and the meters are in asphalt or concrete, just as a guesstimate at this point in time. But that's how many meters they will have to inspect.
And if we approve this RFP and we put it out to bid, we don't necessarily accept the involvement. I don't know.
But we're just gonna have it bid out like that. Let's see where our numbers come, because this is the first ones that we want to see what these companies, pretty much a meter install company, who's gonna bid on this, a pipe water line company, they will have this as a, explain to you how they have to inspect each one on both sides. But it's all in the right of way, so it's not on people's property. We're not going on private property. It's in the right of way. Okay, so.
Y'all guys are doing this.
Yeah. And we don't know if $100,000 is going to cover that or not until we get the bid, but we will have opportunities to go back to request some additional grant money if it is higher than that.
Next is the day contract Gary talked about. Did you get the details worked out?
He's gonna get
Miss Patty Davis to the DDA. We're gonna have a DDA meeting tomorrow.
We can just ratify their
Appointment.
very good. Very good. And the other one, there's one more, lots.
Yes, for the public hearing. What's that? All right, turn to number 7, please. The applicants had sent in some more information today. You see, it's the number 7 in your text. Yeah,
So they're asking for modifications to 4 lots. Lot 1, 3, 36, and 64 lots.
so this is a group heading that goes over each one, and then as you turn the page, you'll see where the 4 lots are laid out. Keep going. That's where they're laid out with the 4 lots, and then it's got some information. Look at lot 1 right there. It's got the proposed house sizes, and the green line is where they're moving the house, they're requesting to move the house up there.
Which lot 1's current setback is 35 feet, and they're asking for a 10-foot variance, making it 25 feet from the road.
Oh, it was a 20 foot.
That one on lot 1,
They're picking up off of Hancock. Where that's coming in, Weaver County talking about coming in off of Saluda, because it has road frontage there on Hancock. See, that's where you get into that part.
even if you look at the lot next to it, the setback is shorter than what they're asking for. Just kind of pushes it more in line, the one next to it.
It will, yes. Because somebody could have faced that house toward Hancock, then that would have been the front. And then it's got a picture, the next one has a picture of the lot. And then the next page has the application information. And then you go to the next one, you'll see lot 3.
Lot 3 has a 20-foot setback, and they're asking for a 5-foot variance, making it a 15-foot setback. Which gives it 15 feet of driveway.
Also looks like the house next to it.
Yeah.
There's the curve there.
You turning. Each of these are all the same for each one.
So lot number 36 has a 20-foot setback, they're asking for 5-foot variance, making it 15 feet, same as lot 60. Lot 36 looks like where they're turning the house.
They have double frontage there.
The same on lot 60, just said going around.
If we go over that more in depth, we get into the public hearing on those. And,
Y'all have any thoughts on that?
there will not be any representative here from the applicant or the Adams Home, which is the end user. But just understand the investor who bought these lots, who owns them, and is the seller. Adams Homes doesn't buy them until they give a variance or rezoning, whatever. So these are still owned in the applicant, which is Chad Black. So he bought these lots as an investment, knowing he was going to deal with Adams Homes, and Adams Homes won't give him house plans. They would have to ask for variances. And then will say here, and I'll say it in the public meeting. Chad Black, I have a relationship with in my previous job, as well as Matt Ackermanis, who made and I work with these, and I was employed by Adams Homes. I have zero relationship with any of these folks anymore, any working relationship. So I'll say that now, and I'll say that. I haven't spoken to Adams Homes, so I don't know anything. I talked to Chad, it's that, primarily that act.
I don't understand what 35 foot setback. Because everything that's also 20 foot. And they were asking for 10 foot.
If you'll look at this page right here,
That's what it is.
okay. So that lot, if you imagine that they don't show it right here on this page, but if you put your finger right there where it says lot one, that would be Hancock. Now, I think originally that lot was supposed to face Hancock. So out this way to Hancock, they're asking it to face the subdivision. Like it really probably should.
Because anybody could turn that house to make it face Hancock if that's what they wanted to. And so I picked up the 20 feet based upon, it never crossed my mind when I was looking at this with them, that the house was ever fronting on Hancock. Always took it, being that it was on Salute.
Does that make sense?
No, that's not what I was seeing in the.
Yeah.
I was seeing 20 foot setback.
Well,
This is the first time I've seen.
That's because of Hancock is different.
Well, that's Thomas, when we get to public meeting, we'll verify. Thomas, when we get to the public meeting, we'll want to talk about the setbacks, so we're just gonna pull that up when we get that. And then, they got in your book probably at 4:30, it's about how late.
That's not any information I've seen.
No, and I think what they were trying to do is, since they couldn't be here, was try to present a picture,
Right.
you know, of more information with that. And so, again,
And Matt Ackerman did call me, tell me he couldn't be here tonight. Said he could provide something to show a little clearer, paint the picture. So I think he did a good job of painting the picture.
So let's look at lot 3. That's a 20 foot setback, right?
Lot 3, yes, sir.
And they want a 5 foot variance, which I believe is 15 foot.
15 feet of driveway.
All right, my issue with this, my truck is 20 feet long. That means I cannot park my truck in the driveway.
Then you would not buy the house. Right?
But what I'm saying is that would, to me, would create a safety concern for the subdivision. Because it's right here at the entrance where people are coming in and out. And you're gonna be trying to go around cars, I think it's safe.
That's on lot 3. The current setback, what was the old setback? Some of those houses are set a lot closer to 15 feet. It's in the neighborhood that was approved years ago.
I said, I talked with a neighbor across the street in her husband's truck, said, what? I'm like, why is it in the driveway? It won't fit in the driveway. Can't close the door if you put it in the driveway.
Any day you drive up my driveway, up my street,
Right.
you're gonna dodge a black truck on this side,
On the
red
street.
car on this side, and sometimes another black truck is up above my driveway. But, I mean,
How many houses do y'all have? 20, 30, we're talking 60 houses.
90. It's
there's
just a straight
51
shot.
total lots, total in there. Well, there's some existing, but every lot won't be built on, because all of them are not built.
That was my concern, is this is going to create a safety.
And that might lead to another conversation of blocking streets and leaving things hanging out in the streets that we have to address later. Because I think we have a lot of that.
Association would probably have some input.
Well, the homeowners association is just getting started by Adams Homes.
Right.
And they'll be making the rules, because they have the most lots.
And they may say, no parking on the street.
And I would say they do a great job.
Then where you gonna park? If you can't park the driveway, you can't park in the street, where you gonna park?
By that house.
Any other things that need to be talked about?
That's it, that's everything that I have. So do we need to make these, Mayor, this list here as additional items on the agenda?
Yes.
You have to accept all of them.
No. And so we'll add one on there, we'll add. Add everything except for 2 and 6. No, it's already blank on it. Alright. Reset for 5 minutes. Move to the top.
This whole time?
Will it? I'll get out
He was not sure, and she said he was.
Thanks, sir.
How are you? Good to see you. You got 2. You're up front. Yeah. Well, we got appearance public comment starting first.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank, you back in.
Oh, you went that way, there, go outside. Come out to that door right there. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for you. What are you talking about? I raised a good one. Look at this. I'm bragging on her. I'm talking about me. You gotta get it. We go work. No, she don't offend her. She don't come on. Yeah. She got lucky. She got good looks. She got lucky. Yeah. Did you meet Frank? Yeah, her birthday. You ain't got nothing. I'm gonna go fuck. Oh, you should hear some of the conversations that we have. It's kind of crazy, some of the things that happen in discussions.
Yeah, they still want to go try to grab it.
We're trying to go how are you doing?
Good, how are you? You too.
That's what we're gonna try to do. Old Town Pub.
Maybe that's good. I've had anything bad from you, though.
Do we need to have a public hearing?
Come see me out here around here.
I will see it.
Just not, this one's not in the hospital, run around trying to.
Well.
Keeps going, that's 48 hours of bounce around.
mutual.
Maybe I have to mirror.
I'm gonna steal your purse. You know what, old man?
Come on. That's what I do. I don't want to put something up there y'all won't see, so let's be careful here. Okay. Yeah, it's working. It. Thank you.
Got Rhonda's cell phone on. She's gonna play video. We go get
Well, you got to do this before we get to you.
Okay. Y'all think that's close? No, we're good. We're good.
so phone can hook up. Somebody's dentures. That's what?
He's done really well too. So it's been what, a little over 3 months. He's doing really well. Should have been something like that. Yeah. So he can do the mowing the grass and all one go now. And he'll go out.
I didn't see this one in a couple of days. We'll see.
All right, let's get the meeting started. Y'all stand with me for the prayer, then we'll do the pledge. Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here this evening. We're thankful that for our firefighters that we swore in this evening. We ask that you watch over those and protect them and help serve our community. We ask that you watch over our policemen and all of our employees here in Demorest. We ask that you watch over us as we guide our city forward. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are a few changes to the agenda. Coming in, starting at the new number 12 and running lower. Let's add new number 12 as parking agreements for people lots. Let's add new 13 as review and approval of the plat with changes to track 1 and track 2 of Westview Place. New number 14 is the Sweetgrass plat. New number 15 is the approval of the RFP for the Copper Letter Port. And then new number 16 is the 2 new members to the DDA. Was there anything else? Is there anything that needs to be removed? All right, we'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion that we accept the agenda as amended.
Thank you. Second? Second. All those in favor? Very good. All right, first is appearance and public comments. Is anyone here ready to speak?
I guess that'd be me.
Step up to the podium, please state your name and your address.
Hey, my name's Barry Walker, 151 Ivy Street in Demorest. And I'm here tonight about some water problems we've got. And hopefully, I can make this work again. But there's two issues. One that's coming from behind the fire department. I don't know what happened there. The last time they worked on the parking lot, supposedly they dug up part of it because of a sinkhole. Am I right? I don't know if they am or not. After that, the water just started gushing down. And I mean, it's terrible. It's going over Mr. Poppins' driveway. It's at the point now it's about to wash it away. The pipe's just not big enough to handle it. Maybe the sinkhole's catching the water before, so I don't know. But, well, here we go. But anyhow, I don't see what I'm seeing there on my phone, unfortunately. There it is. I just had sowed the yard in grass here and put down where the water had. I think Mark, you've been out there before. You saw where it went. Well, we leveled that all off. When it came over the road that time, it just washed all that away. If you keep watching down through here.
What direction was the big water coming down as seen earlier in the video?
That's what direction?
Yeah, where was that coming from?
Backside of the fire.
Yeah, backside of the fire department. Yeah. And like I say, it's kind of got backed up there before, but it just after they did whatever they did, I mean, it's just all coming down through there now. And I thought maybe the sinkhole's catching it. I don't know. But whatever it is, the pipe's not big enough to handle it. And it has been there for 20 years. And when I put that in originally, the parking lot wasn't paved there. The pavement up there in front of the fire department, the drains down there wasn't there. So, been a lot of impervious surfaces been covered up. So, I don't know. I just hope maybe I'll help us out with that a little bit. If we could just put in like from there, straight lines 120 feet, we could double the size of the pipe. There's just a 12-inch pipe there now.
Which pipe were you were discussing? What is on Mr. Poppins' property?
It's on our property. And we will give you an easement, you know, to get to it. But I mean, it's your water. It's not our water. And, I mean, the only people that agree is Piedmont's water and y'all's water. And I know we have a responsibility to accept the water, but y'all also have a responsibility to, when it gets to us, that, you know, something be done with it. And the other thing is on the property where the storage buildings were built. That's coming down and going across the road, Ivy Street, and it's washing the little brick building. It's just underneath it, it's just gone. So.
And one thing the city tried to do was when Hughes repaved that, they tried to slope the road away from the Michael side. It didn't.
Well, yeah, it didn't. Something that, you know, you don't want water running over the street. I mean, a road, that's just, that's a road's worst enemy is water.
And this is where the water's coming down from the backside of the Chevron station and the mini warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes straight down, and that's where it's coming straight from this building that he needs there.
Let me see if I can show you that too. But,
I think you were there.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right here. There we go. Yeah, it hits that. That's, you know, that helps a little bit. But if we could just put some riprap and catch that other stream, maybe that hump would take care of it. I don't think it would, but, you know, if there's a lot of water, it's not raining that hard right now. Perhaps what would be good is to cut the thing and put the grate there and let it fall into it and go to that ditch. You see how it's going across the street? I mean, that's just, it needs to be ditched somehow beyond that.
Here, let me ask you a question. Whose water is this coming down this drive? Is that a city street or private?
That's just private property.
Alright, so that's not, what I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but that's private.
But it's crossing your public street. You don't want that. I mean, that's just.
But this is where it comes into water runs downhill.
Yeah.
And we got, every time we have a big rain like we had a couple weeks ago,
Well, that's not a big rain. That's I know what you're saying. But I mean, it's your public street and it's going to deteriorate. You're going to fix it. It seems like to me, you know, to protect what you have. It help us too. I don't know what to do. What would you suggest we do? If y'all can't do anything, I mean, y'all can ditch the right of way and put a catch basin in to catch all this, and send it on down Ivy Street on the right side. That should have been done before they paved it. If we put a catch basin right here and called it, put a pipe in for their driveway to the apartments, and you know, that would have.
And here, another issue that we are experiencing also at the fire station. If you're standing looking at the front of the fire station, the wood shed is on the left-hand side. It's on the upper side of the fire station. It's got a wooden building shed just right there. And we have water that comes from 441, which we guess would be the state's water, that runs then down the city street that runs into the fire station. Because it has a drainage ditch in the woods to the left. And so the water is coming into the fire station basically.
From the woods to the left, I don't understand. Where the woods
fire
are.
station. Your property on the right hand side. You got the wood shed that sits to the left of it.
You talking about the maintenance shop?
No, I'm talking about the fire department.
Okay. I don't even know where wood shed is.
It's one of those, like roll-off sheds?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
So that's the shed. That's the side.
Well, I can't place it right off.
Okay, we got Higgins' other equipment, supplies is right there. And there's a drain that comes down off 441 that then drains into the back side of the fire department. And that's the water that's coming around.
Why doesn't it go in the ditch right there?
It is in the ditch behind to the left of the fire station.
Yeah, but why does it cross the street is what I'm asking. If it's coming from 441, why does it go in the ditch on that side of the road?
You and I and Brian will just have to meet there and look at it. I'm not the engineer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that.
See,
that's a lot of water, yeah.
It's on the pipe. It may be whether it's on Piedmont's maintenance property or on our line. I don't know where the line is right there. But it drains out with a catch basin right there. In the woods in there.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. And that's where we come to. Because you might have to give some guidance to about coming on private property or a property owner giving you a easement to come on their property to fix the problem. So I think some of that would have to come into play in some of these with limitations.
And no, I know it's, up to us to, we're at the bottom, we're gonna take it, there's no, nothing you can do about that. But, it'd be nice to have a little help with it.
Well, y'all take a look at it and see.
Ron's out this week, and we will get together, and then as you see, I think I can get you there in the meantime.
Okay, well, just wait till Brian gets back, and I don't wanna waste time.
It's okay, because that way you can visualize too, so I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thanks for the visual tools there.
Well, I don't know if it helped, it's kinda loud.
That was good.
First use of phones for audio visual. It worked pretty well.
But it worked. All right, next we'll go into the public here. Well, do we have anybody else here for appearance and public comment? All right. Next we'll go into the public hearing. Thomas, will you take this over?
Yes. This is a public hearing on, with regard to property located at Hancock Meadows. Hancock Meadows subdivision, Demorest, Georgia, pertaining to specifically lots 1, 3,
36, and 60. Chad Black requests a variance from the requirements of section 30-138 of the city code for lot size and setbacks regarding residential use within the high-intensity performance district. Habersham County tax parcel numbers 078-087E, 078-087G, 078-007S, and 078-006K. All interested parties are invited to attend to be heard. If you have questions or concerns, the city will hear those now. Is anyone here to speak?
With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make my statement that I made earlier. Mr. Chad Black and that acronym Adams Homes, I had a working relationship with these two individuals in the corporation. And I do not have a working relationship with these folks anymore. But that is in my previous life. And I just want to be transparent with everyone to know that that is the situation that. So thank you.
And I will have working relationships with all these parties, but no involvement in these here.
I figured out a 35-foot lot.
Okay.
So I was gonna show you all the ideas.
So here's the plat.
Thomas, leave that mic to you, please, sir.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right. So the first one, the one that where there's the issue about 35 foot and the 20 foot, is this lot right here. Saluda Hills Drive has a 20-foot right of way. I have no idea, and I cannot tell from the information in the public record why lots 1 and lots 33 were offset the way they are. But this offset right here, where I'm pointing with the arrow, do you see what I'm talking about? That is 15 additional feet. And you can tell that because it's a 10-foot utility easement, and then there's another about half that distance between where the dotted line ends and the pin that was set for lot 1 is. So that's why they believe, or their title company probably thinks this is a problem. Because even though it's a 20-foot setback, they're actually set 35 feet back from what is 20 feet of right of way for Saluda Hills. So what they're really asking is to be able to move their building lot, because if it's going to come off Saluda Hills, they're wanting to move it that 15 feet towards what is actually the right of way of Saluda Hills. And this is the tax commissioner picture of Saluda Hills, and you can tell, again, I don't know why those lots are offset, can't tell, there's nothing in the public record that indicates why that is, but that is why because they're coming off, they're fronting on Saluda rather than Hancock, that's why they're asking for that variance.
And so that will just bring whatever house they build here more in line with the other homes that are built.
That is correct. I've seen developers lay out those before, almost where they have landscaping in the front 2 lots. Well, that's what you would think, is that it looked like, but it doesn't appear anybody owns that other than it looks like it's right away. Okay. Was that the only question with regard to these? The street tree.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm looking at the statement of hardship, and it states in here that the hardship has to be the character of the lot and not an economic hardship. But in their statement, all of their statements say we want this so we don't have to build a large subwall at the rear of each home. I just can't see
me with the topo on the back of those lots, I'm assuming the reason they got to build the wall is because of the slopes in the back. Am I right about that? So that would be the reason for the hardship, not necessarily the economics of it, the fact that the lot itself, the way it lays.
I mean, it clearly states that it cannot be of a personal or economic hardship. And that's what they're stating, is this would be an economic hardship for them.
Well, I mean, effectively, whenever there's a hardship, when you're talking about building, it's gonna be more money. What they're connecting it to is what the actual characteristics of the lot are. I mean, if it was a flat lot, then then you're right, if they just wanted it, you may have a point, but I think that's the point they're trying to make.
But I believe they're just trying to save some money by not having to build lots. That's on the first lot. The other 3 lots, I looked at the code for Habersham County, DOT, and some other cities, and the conclusion is that an average driveway needs to be a minimum of 18 to 20 feet. Where there's a 20-foot setback, and if we give a 5-foot variance, that puts the driveway at 15 feet, and that's outside the characterization for a driveway. You can use it. That's going to put more cars on the street. So I measured my truck today, it's 20 feet long. It wouldn't fit a 15-foot driveway.
I think that's a great point. I think that's, I sell houses for a living, and I've had plenty of folks come and say my car don't fit. I've had plenty of folks measure garages and say my car don't fit. And, I think it's something that folks do take into account when they buy this house individually. But on a separate point about cars being in the street, I do think that's something we're going to have to address at some point, because they're in the street all over the place. I think that's, if we drove our truck around the city right now, there's streets all over the place that we couldn't, if there's
safety issue.
Also, just a point of reference for everyone, those streets are private streets, nothing to do with parking, about the maintenance of the street.
Right.
So the city does not have any maintenance of those streets in any way, shape, or form. And when people move in, they will call the city and they'll be asking. So just understand that HOA, the homeowners, that could be an issue for somebody too. The streets are expensive, as we see with asphalt.
That's right. All right, Thomas, so we handle these on a vote this evening on an individual basis?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll entertain a motion to approve lot 1 with the 10-foot variance given a 25-foot setback from the road. Do we have a motion? On lot 1. Any thoughts, discussion?
As I stated, I think we should reject these applications.
Okay.
But we're doing lot by lot.
Lot by lot.
So looking at the public now, like Thomas showed us, the first one, I'm not even really wanting to push that lot back. So you're asking us to make a motion to approve.
The setback for that one, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm making a motion to approve for lot 1.
Okay,
smallest plan they have would not fit that lot unless they had the variance.
So to turn it sideways.
And again, that's gonna leave your driveway 15 feet, which is not acceptable.
All right, we'll entertain a motion for lot 36, changing that to a 15-foot setback. Do we have a motion? That's on lot 36.
I'll make yet another motion that we accept the variance on lot 36.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that one.
All right. All those in favor to accept that variance
sorry. Blank for a second.
Yes. Thank you. A second? All those in favor to approve the building regulation code update? Very good. Next, we'll move on to business license ordinance. This allows the same thing. Gives a little teeth to our ordinances. We didn't have any modifications to that. There's no discussion, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve business license ordinance as written.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Next, we'll move on to consideration of additional LMIG funds. Mark, how much additional money is this?
We're through $46,518 is our share, given to us by the state of Georgia access to the government account. And we have a zero match. Typically, there's 30%, so this is an additional amount due to the revenue surplus of the state.
Fantastic. All right, and staff has outlined the streets that you are proposing to repave and mill, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is 480 feet of Laurel Avenue, 350 feet of Alabama Street, 345 feet of Florida Street, 483 feet of John Miles Drive, and patch 40 foot of Florida Street, and 390 feet of Fisk Avenue, correct?
Correct.
All right, we'll entertain a motion to move forward with this as written.
Make that motion.
Thank you. A second? All those in favor to move forward with LMIG funds? All right, very good. All right, next is the parking agreement with Piedmont. This allows us to utilize the parking lots, put up signs, so we're grateful for that. We'll entertain a motion to go into an agreement with Piedmont University on the parking agreement.
I would love to make a recommendation we go into that parking agreement.
Thank you. Second? Second. All those in favor? Very good. All right, next is review and approve the plat with the changes to track 1 and track 2 of Westview Place. We talked about this during the work session. Is there any other further discussion on this? Staff, any other? This is Mark.
No, because I presume we do have one of the property owners here if you have any questions for him.
Okay. Are there any questions? We'll entertain a motion to move forward to accept that as written in front of us.
Make that motion.
A second? All those in favor? Very good. Next, we'll move forward with the approval of the plat on Sweetgrass Court due to this house built being built over the line. Do we have any further discussions? We'll entertain a motion to make that modification.
Make that motion.
A second? All those in favor? Very good. Next is approval of the RFP for the copper lead report. This is put out for advertisement for bid, proposal for bid on the copper lead report. We'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. A second? All those in favor? Very good. Next is we have the DDA come forward and make 2 recommendations for 2 people to serve on the DDA. We have Jamie Albert and Miss Patty Davis. Appreciate that. We entertain a motion to accept those nominations to the DDA.
I'm not going to approve this.
No, sir. No, absolutely not. Okay. A second? Thank you. All those in favor? All right, very good.
We have a meeting tomorrow at 4:30.
And I'll be at Vacation Bible School teaching.
So, you just have to, you'll have to find training to do. I don't know if they still have the online training or not.
But we'll get all together, but you.
I'm glad we voted you in before they told you about the training.
You're missing the first meeting.
All right, next is a manager's report and financial review. Mark?
All right. We named our grand marshal, which will be disabled by age 4th grade class that
one that's combined with, the county and Clarksville. I'd like to see that separated, so we have one separate with Clarksville.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
With the county on that,
Okay,
so it's not all tied in together.
okay, duly noted. Jamie signed his lease for the upstairs portion of, farmhouse now. And, DDA, we'll see that, tomorrow. They approved that, we had already approved it, but it just, we got it done by Jamie on Monday. And then it will go for the final signing of Piedmont. And he's paid $750 a month rent starting June 1st. So,
Farmhouse, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Is farmhouse, that is completion?
No. Because it's the issue where, which we've all discussed, is the maintenance side of it, because they're asking us to sign the maintenance and we're asking farmhouse to sign it. And so we've been in some discussions of how that needs to go. And really, I'm waiting for both of them to make some concessions on that.
When you say see, correct.
Correct, yeah. See all that is, so yes. We were discussing the insurance premiums that the city gets. That amount is budgeted is $156,000. And again, that's for the different life and casualty and, general liability policies that are written here in the city limits. And that check normally comes in October. So, we will be getting y'all a budget adjustment and the, contract for the, funds coordinator in the next day or two with that. Again, we said in the work session, but Baldwin has given us a, water rate increase, effective July 1st. And, so we will be adding that and looking at the impact and what that does to our, payments to them. We're getting around 105,000 a month, with about 46, 47 million gallons a month at this time. So,
It's all very worse.
right. So, the last different portion, I asked Thomas, in our land use process, where are we at moving to the next stage?
You'll have an ordinance to put on first read and, or take a look at next month.
Okay.
And then we can either schedule the public hearing for that meeting, or we can schedule the public hearing for the August meeting.
And do we want to do that at our regular council meeting, or do we want to have a special call meeting where you're spending more time just on that as opposed to all the course of business that we normally have? Because depending on how the agenda looks, you could be here much longer into the evening, but that is a very important topic that we need to be vigilant
anything about the